Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
You know what time it is. It is Thursday, October 27, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan, Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, we are coming to you from Mike Phillips, Keller Williams' office here in the great city of Dearborn, Michigan. We are in the corner pretty much at Michigan and Military. If you want to come by, we'll be here till 4 o'clock, and then the party starts after 4, to be honest with you. We're going to have great treats, a trunk or treat, 4:30. Braylon Edwards is going to be here. Allegedly. Can neither confirm nor deny. But Braylon, what a great afternoon this has turned out to be.
Beautiful afternoon, man. I get a chance to put the Letterman on. It's that time of year when Michigan gets to beat up on little brother yet again. Everywhere we go on location, it's always Michigan State fans, Michigan State crew, whether it's Novi, whether it's Sterling Heights, whether it's wherever. But finally, in Dearborn, they know what time it is. Mike Phillips family, make some noise, baby. Yeah.
You know, and you can't help but walk into this place, and we certainly appreciate their partnership with woodwardsports.com. The energy that you get here is second to none. It's just great to be a part of it.
And it's easy to do a show, man, with the fans and the people and the family. It's not fans, it's family, man. You walk in, there's real family feel to it, so it's going to be electric, man. We're going to give them a lot of energy, crack some jokes, and we'll do a 2-hour great show, man, like we always do.
Got to give a shout-out to the famous hamburger food truck in the parking lot as well. We had some cheeseburgers on the way in.
Diet,
yes,
man.
I am out on the diet today. Killed it with the cheeseburger, but that's okay. Let me say good afternoon to you, Tom Mazawey.
Hello, fellas. Hi, everybody. Hi, Keller Williams, Mike Phillips. Let's go. It's going to be a great day. Another trade in the NFL. No, the Lions did not make it. We will tell you about it, and the trade deadline is coming up. Will the Lions do anything? And we got some interesting stuff on Jared Goff as well.
Look at that. We will get into the NFL in just a little bit, but it is Michigan State week. The game now a little more than 48 hours away, Braylon. Take me back to when you were playing. And it is Michigan State week. You hear the talk all week long, and as you get closer and closer, what goes through the mind and the body of a Michigan football player as they prepare to do battle with the Spartans?
I mean, you know that you guys are always going to be the number one focus. You know, Michigan's always been that way since 1898, which is the first time these teams played. Michigan's always been big brother. So, you know, you go throughout the week of that. You do have doubt at some points because the game's always tough. So you're like, who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play this week? But then you go in the classrooms, man, and it starts on Monday. And the fans are in the classroom because you're a regular student athlete. So you're going to class with the fans, and you guys going to get it done? You guys going to get it done? What's the score going to be? How are you guys going to do? Are you going to win this year? So, you know, you go through 4 or 5 days of that, and you're just ready. By the time the game comes, you're so prepared. You're so mentally locked in. Like, you know what you want to do. You hate that school, especially on this week. So by the time Saturday kickoff comes, well, usually it's an afternoon game when I play, but now it's a night game. But by the time you get to that point, like all hell breaks loose, you're ready, though.
Michigan, a 22.5-point favorite in this one. That jumped up from the opening line of 21. Braylon, not too many people believe Michigan State can actually win this particular football game, this version of it in 2022. How do you as a player, though, really kind of stay the course and understand that you do have to win every play? No matter what the Vegas spread is, it doesn't matter. No matter what happened 2 years ago or 50 years ago, it doesn't matter. You have to get it done on the field this year. How do you kind of slow your roll a little bit? And, you know, you just can't show up and win the football game. Michigan is going to have to play some good football in order to get this win.
Yeah, you can't show up and win any football game. I mean, you look at Iowa this year. Iowa's not really a good football team, but Michigan goes down. They struggle along a little bit, and then they open the lead up. You look at the Indiana game, the Maryland game, and the list goes on. But I think Michigan slowly but surely put themselves into a position where they know who they are now. They're ready and play Michigan State at the right time. Also, Michigan didn't forget what happened in Michigan State last year. They didn't forget what happened 2 years ago in the COVID year, although everybody else did. Jim Harbaugh and these guys that are juniors and sophomores on the staff did not forget. Last year, Michigan could have been 13-0 going into that playoff game. I repeat, Michigan could have been 13-0. It could have been a perfect Big Ten season, but somebody spoiled that party, and it was Sparty. So I guarantee you, this Michigan team, Blake Corum's never beat Michigan State. Think about that. Blake Corum, as good as he's been, as good as he's done, right now he's third in the Heisman voting. He's never beat Michigan State. So I think that is the perfect storm of Michigan State not being good, Michigan being really good, and then Michigan not winning the last 2 years. That's the perfect storm for an ass whooping.
Tom Mazawey, talk to me about this because, Michigan beat Ohio State last year and won the Big Ten championship, made it to the college football playoff, and you knock on the door on your street, next door neighbor, hey, come on in. But we beat you guys.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that I think leaves a bad taste in a lot of Michigan people's mouths collectively.
Hey, my neighbors, most of them are Michigan State fans, and most of them fly that flag. And when that thing happened 7 years ago, I'm not even going to say what it was, you heard the neighborhood, because we have the screen door in, you heard the neighborhood all screaming and bouncing around and jumping up on the cars. They truly did. This year, I don't see that Spartan flag flying as much. I really don't.
Shocking.
I don't. But the husband's got the Syracuse flag out at least. So go blue, baby. I want to win this game as a Michigan fan, like I've told you since I moved here in '93. I want this game more than I even want Ohio State. That's me.
That's an interesting point because I referred to this yesterday. 2007 2008 was that tipping point, right? I mean, the Michigan State game, to most Michigan fans, I think, was a secondary rivalry until Mark D'Antonio came in and started turning this rivalry on its head.
He makes me. I get the. He does it for me. I want to wring his neck.
But to his credit, he has turned this single-handedly into. Ohio State is here. Right. There's no question about it. But there is no doubt Michigan State is right below it, right beneath it. And it's not worlds below it. It's not insignificant. Right. Michigan State is one of those games on the schedule now, the second most important game on the schedule.
Second most important game, but the thing remains the same is Michigan's always big brother. The way in which we approach the game every year, it doesn't matter if Michigan, and you guys can speak to this more than players can. Every year we expect to beat Michigan State. I don't care what the score is. I don't care what the rank is. Michigan fans, Michigan players, the Michigan or franchise school and everything, they expect to beat Michigan. Doesn't matter how the season is going, they expect to come out there and win. Michigan State, if they're playing well, they expect to win. But if they're not playing well, then it's like, oh, well, you guys should beat us. And I think therein lies the difference with the rivalry, man. Michigan State took, after Mark D'Antonio, what was that? Pride comes before the fall. Maz loves to talk about the year of 2008. I think there was a lot of circumstances that went into that. We don't have to dive into that. But it did take a turn. And Michigan has struggled against Michigan State, whether it was Brady Hoke, whether it was Rich Rodriguez, whether it was Jim Harbaugh. Everybody struggled against Michigan State, and right now they're 0-2 in the last 2 years. So this is a big, big week.
What's Harb's record against State?
3-4.
Okay. Time, man.
Yeah.
It's time. Take a receipt. It's time to get those receipts.
3-4 pretty easily. Could have been 5-2.
But it wasn't.
Very true. Very true.
But it wasn't.
You know, every time the Spartans win the game,
something funky.
There is something funky. I'm sorry. You can call me the biggest whiner in the world. Spartan Bob.
Oh, the
fumble with
game,
the
baby.
snap.
Oh.
The Aiden Hutchinson sack fumble touchdown that wasn't. I mean,
Desmond Howard
trip on the 2-point conversion. I mean, there is always something in this game that seems to go in the benefit of Michigan State.
Yeah, but the good thing
when they win anyway.
But the good thing about it is Michigan shouldn't be in a position this year to let one of those freakish October things sneak in and steal a win for Michigan. Michigan is a team that a lot of people are talking about is now an elite team. If you guys want to be an elite team, if you claim to be better than you were last year, I don't want to hear anything about Spartan Bob. I don't want to hear trouble with the snap. What I want to see is an ass whooping so we can go home in the third quarter. That's all I'm saying. Don't leave it to chance.
So how do they do the ass whooping, for lack of a better way to say it, Braylon? I mean, honestly,
you run the ball down their throat.
But again, what kind of game do you want to see? Because that seems to be the easy answer, right? Blake Corum in Michigan's offense, 241 yards rushing average a game. That is number one in the Big Ten. Michigan State's defense, their rushing defense, 11th best in the NFL, or 11th best in the Big Ten. Oh, by the way, there's only 14 teams in the conference, so there are only 3 worse teams at stopping the run than Michigan State. Is that the kind of game you want to see? Do you want to just see them punish them up front and run the football? Because I'll tell you, I kind of don't. I'd like to see them just rip bomb after bomb after bomb, put up 28 quick ones in the first quarter, and call it a day after that.
That's part of it. How you do that is everybody expects Jim Harbaugh to be Jim Harbaugh. Everybody expects Jim Harbaugh, which he's only showed us so many times, go to the run, try to pound it down your throat, and then pass when you have to. I say you switch it. I say you open up the game with the pass. I say you come on first play of the game and throw a bomb to Andrew Anthony or Clemens. I say you open it up with the pass because their secondary is trash. Their secondary is rated 100+ in the country out of 142 teams. Like, they're awful. They can't stop a cold. So if I were you, I'd go up top first, get them off their heels, and then run the ball down their throats. I say you just reverse the process, but you still beat them down at the line of scrimmage with the old lineman. Even in the pass game, you beat up the D lineman. In the running game, you maul the D lineman and get to the second level and the Mike linebacker.
I think the Spartans will play their best game this game, at least the first half, or at least try, like Braylon's saying. They're going to empty their playbook, too. I don't know if it's what it's got in it. It hasn't done anything for them so far. Yeah. They did beat Wisconsin. They're not an easy team to beat, but they're definitely having a down year. But this is their game, man. This is their bowl game because they're not going to make a bowl. They're not going to make a bowl game.
This is their national championship game. Everything that they have, they're going to give to the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday night. Now, will that be enough? Probably not.
Wisconsin sucks. Like, if we're talking about Michigan State beating Wisconsin, in the previous 5 years, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it would be a different type of win. It would be one in which you could respect and say, hey, you know what? They did beat Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin fired their coach 2 weeks before that game. Wisconsin is in shambles. They're trying to make Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator, the head coach right now. They're not the same Wisconsin that they have been. And yet and still, Wisconsin found a way to score some points and run the ball on Michigan State.
Is this going to be a JJ game or – well, that's kind of what I'm going to ask because we have not had to – JJ McCarthy has not had to win a football game for Michigan this year. And potentially the only game that Michigan coaches will ask him to win is a game like the Ohio State one on the road in Columbus at the end of the year. Don't you want to see something more out of JJ in this game and something more from the coaching staff, really, to put JJ in a position to win this game? Not just run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down, run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down, run the ball on first down, and you see a pattern here. Because you could rush the ball 50 times, stuff it down their throat, and score that way and beat them up physically that way. But don't you just want to see JJ do a little bit more in this game to know he's capable and against a terrible secondary, Braylon, give JJ a little confidence because he has been missing the deep ball. I want to ask you that. We'll do it next. But first, a message from, what am I doing here, guys? Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac just down the street.
I just dropped you off.
That's right. I just got an oil change from there today. Why stroll when you can roll? Get off your heels and get into some wheels. Come on down today, practically giving them away at Les Stanford Chevrolet and Cadillac. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, at Alta, uptime matters.
It matters.
Alta Equipment's got everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rental has you covered. Give them a try today. Call them at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Talking a little Michigan State here. We are in Dearborn at the office of Michael Phillips, Keller Williams in the great city of Dearborn, Michigan. Braylon is going to be here doing a meet and greet after the show today, and you can stick around as well for a trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot. Again, we're at the corner of Michigan and Military. Keller Williams office here in Dearborn. We cannot thank Mike Phillips and everybody associated with the team here in Dearborn and their continued support of Woodward Sports and woodwardsports.com. Braylon, what kind of game does Michigan need out of J.J. McCarthy? Are they going to ask him to hand off the football, or are they going to ask him to throw the football?
Yeah, what you need, what you want are two different things. What JJ needs to do is continue to what he's doing, is complete passes at a 75% clip, do the things they ask him to do, hand the ball off, and then when asked to make plays, make plays. So as long as they get the W, you know, the model that they have in place right now, it seems to be working in Michigan State's no better than any team Michigan's played this year. But what you want to see, Ryan, yes, you want to see JJ get the ball down the field. You want to see JJ complete some intermediate passes upwards of 12 to 20 yards. You want to see him go down the field and connect on one of those deep post routes to Roman Wilsons or Ronnie Bell or Andrell Anthony. You want Schoonmaker to have some play that he does, some design, some belly pass to Schoonmaker. You want to see JJ have 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, something like that. And the reason why is going into the Ohio State game, going into the belly of the beast, you got to know that it's there. You can't never see something and then expect it to be there. You can't go to Ohio State and be like, all right, cool, now it's time to pass for 500 yards. If you've never done it, you don't know that it's there. So I think I want to see that. I know the fans want to see that. Now, when we see it, fingers crossed, that's what I want. But how, in terms of J.J. McCarthy, what he needs to do, just keep doing what he's doing, because they've been rolling. They're 7-0. The defense is playing extremely well. The efficiency is there. The completion percentage is there. And obviously the running game with Ermanni and Edwards and Blake Corum is there. What you need and what you want are two different things.
Hey, I said it a few weeks ago. I think Michigan is kind of just hanging in there, just playing basic offense. I know, Braylon, you might disagree with me on this. You have in the past. But I think they still have some stuff in the bag. I don't think you're going to see a lot of it this week. They are going to save it for their tougher games. But you got to put this game away early. Take the fight out of the Spartans, and you got to roll them in this game. I think if you could put 40 up, you put 40 up.
Let me pick that up, Maz, because I think what you're saying is correct on the kind of the bones of it, but you got to see it, though, too. I mean, it's one thing to –
you waited till almost Maryland last year to see it. MSU in some part.
I understand, but, you know, with J.J., he has not been good on the deep ball lately. We know he's got the cannon. We know he's got the ability. We know he can do it, but we have not seen it. And, Braylon, we talk about this all the time. When you are a professional athlete, when you are a collegiate athlete, the more confidence you have in your ability to do something, hell, related to your own jobs. You know, the more confidence you have in your ability to do a particular detail of your job, the better equipped you are when you're faced with that situation. And J.J., throwing the ball, completing passes 20, 30 yards down the field, that is something we have not seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Matt talks about, you know, wanting to save things and keep them in the chest. And I always say this. It's not that I disagree fully with what he's saying. But at the end of the day, man, when you got it, you can roll. You watch these teams that have success, these teams at Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahomas, the Georgias, the Floridas, when they were good, Tennessees now. Like, they go out there and they ball. They know it's there. 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. They don't save plays. Georgia's not like, I'm going to save this nuance for the Alabama-Georgia SEC championship game, and we're going to catch Nick Saban off guard right there. Yeah, maybe a couple plays, but not the whole freaking offense. The whole offense, as it relates right now to Michigan, they run the ball, and they throw the ball to the tight end, or they throw quick screens to the wide receivers. You get a good defensive coordinator can pick that apart. And I'm just saying that's dangerous to play that way. You're not going to play any good opponents this year because the Big Ten sucks. So you're not going to play teams along the way so that you can slowly but surely open it up. Michigan they've been trying. They just missed out on some plays. I think Michigan has the potential and they have the capacity to let JJ run wild, But it's up to Jim Harbaugh to decide when he wants to do that. I just disagree with the slowly matriculating, let it happen, because you're going to run into a situation where you haven't done it and it's not there, and J.J. McCarthy doesn't know what to do. Much like Wilton Spate in 2016, when they were 7-8-0, they were balling, they were doing the same thing, and then when he went down to Iowa and had to see a cover 2 team that played his own, he didn't know what the hell to do.
I don't think it's going to affect him this week. Sorry, Rye. Yeah. But Eric All not being there this year is definitely a detriment to this team. I know you got other tight ends.
Luke Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker, great name. I don't know if he's Eric All.
He's been playing good, though.
He's good, but Michigan loves, utilizing the tight end position. So that hurt him. It's going to hurt him. Not in this game, but maybe down the line. Because I remember last year, towards the end of the year, he was dominant.
There's no question, and single-handedly won a couple of games.
Yep.
I mean, the Nebraska game on the road late caught a big third down, and Penn State caught another big third down as well. Braylon, let me ask you this, because Michigan State football tweeted out today pictures of Tom Izzo addressing the football team.
They're bringing out the big guns.
And one of the things that he said was, you're playing for 650,000 of us. And I believe that's referring to the alumni base of the Michigan State University. What effect does bringing speakers in like this have on a football team, if any? And who was some of the? Do you remember? Did Lloyd ever bring anybody in to talk to you guys?
I just question this era and what matters to them. Obviously Tom Izzo's a guy that they see all the time. I think for somebody like Michigan State, you bring in Tom Izzo. Michigan State football players see him all the time. He doesn't necessarily connect to the football program for them. It's not maybe necessarily that they can draw, I would guess, motivation from. They're like, all right, cool, another Michigan State guy, come here and talk to us, give us a speech about playing Michigan, yada, yada, yada. You got to bring somebody in there that makes sense. You got to bring somebody in there that can, rile you guys up. When I was at Michigan, we had a couple keynote speakers. Growing up in Detroit, there was only one hockey team I watched. There's only one hockey team I love, and still to this day. I'm a Red Wings guy. I'm a diehard Red Wings guy. And I wasn't a Sergei Fedorov guy. I was always a Stevie Y, number 19. I came into the meeting room one day, sat down, and guess who came in after me and sat down?
Stevie Y.
Stevie Y. I was pumped. Whatever the hell he was going to say, it was going to work. But I grew up in Detroit. It mattered to me. You know what I'm saying? Desmond came and spoke to us. Charles Woodson came and spoke to us. Gerald Ford came and spoke to us before he passed away. He was obviously went to the University of Michigan, played football, was All-American. But Gerald Ford was old as hell. But when he came in, I was of that age. I knew what it meant. I knew he was the president. I know he's the only president Michigan ever had. I knew he was an All-American fullback. So even though you're like, oh well, you can't connect. Yes, I could. Because he sat in those seats a long time ago. He was one of me a long time ago. So when you have guys speak and give messages, you just got to make sure it's an individual that hits home for somebody on your team.
Yeah, because Tom Izzo sees these guys on campus every day. Doesn't he? I mean, doesn't he walk into the football building? He's probably, I guarantee you, this was not the first football practice that Tom Izzo attended this season. So what effect does that have, Maz?
It might have been. It might have been. They might have been waiting, and Tuck said, hey, if Tuck's coming, I'm going to need Izzo to help me to get there.
They should have bought Draymond Green. Maybe he
Seriously.
would have motivated him to bring some fight out of him.
Maybe he would have knocked somebody out.
He was there a few weeks ago. Remember when they honored him? He was there a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was.
That was before the punch.
I just there's something about this game, though, that seems to be missing for me.
I hear you, but you know what? It's still, man. It's still Michigan State and Michigan.
Don't get me wrong. I want to beat them, and I want to beat them to a pulp, but it does not feel like the same smack talk that you're getting because you don't hear a ton from Michigan State this week.
You heard Braylon yesterday?
Yeah.
He's like, you guys should beat us.
Yeah,
right.
We're the underdog.
Michigan State does it all the time. But you know what it is, Ryan? It's more so this. Yes, when Michigan State isn't good, they tend to disappear and they wait for game time to see what happens in the end. But it's not only that. We are coming off the heels of 365 days ago, almost to a T, of arguably the best game in the Michigan State rivalry. And what I mean by that, what the stakes were, what was on the line, what it came down to, the blown calls, the individual performances of K9, which was freaking insane. You got Andrell Anthony, Cade McNamara, Aiden Hutchinson. That game was everything. That was the best game I've seen in terms of all the equation in my life. Best game ever. So you come off the heels of that, and we think the rivalry is back. We think that Michigan and Michigan State. We think the state's better when both teams are good. Because you can talk back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's good stuff talking versus, all right, Michigan's 8-0 and Michigan State can't buy a win. You come off that, and now you have this season. It just lacks the same luster, and I think we got spoiled because of last year. Because last year, that whole lead-up, it wasn't just a one-week lead-up. That lead-up was 1 week, 2 week, week 3, week 4. Oh, wow, they could be undefeated.
Collision course.
It's a collision course. Oh, here's a bye week. They're still undefeated. What's going to happen? Now K9 is in Heisman talks. We've talked about what Aiden Hutchinson can do. It was just so much lead-up to that game, and now this year it's like, oh, look, Michigan's playing Michigan State at 7:30 on ABC. Tune in to watch.
Maz, did you decide if you were going to go to the game or not?
Not yet. I'm going to make a game time decision.
I need audience participation for 1 second. Show of hands, okay? Because I have a problem with this game being a night game.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the night game, or would you rather noon? Night. Oh, look at these night games. You guys got long tailgates.
Noon, night.
They're
selling houses during the day. They want to go to the game at night.
Night game.
This is true. Yeah, for going purposes, definitely like a 12 at least by 3:30. Like even though I'm going to the game, I'm out at halftime. I can't do the traffic.
Already, you know that already.
1,000%. I don't care what the score is. I'm out at halftime.
MSU is up.
So Michigan is still win. I'm not staying with traffic. I made the mistake of trouble with the snap game. I was up there. I got caught up there, and I didn't get home after trouble with the snap until 1:40 in the morning. Never again. Never again.
You going, Maz?
I'll tell you, it's game day decision.
It is a game time decision for you.
I'd rather just watch the fourth quarter at my house and just chill. Watch the house. I literally was just there. Now I'm at the house. I got my own popcorn, my own treats.
That's a good idea.
All
I got
right.
adult beverages.
Give me.
What else you got?
We'll do our official. We'll do our official predictions tomorrow. We'll do our official predictions tomorrow. But before
Jimmy bailed me out here, man.
I know Jimmy will be there.
It's Jimmy's fault.
Before we move off Michigan State, official predictions tomorrow. But where are you guys right now? Give me a final score. Start with you, Maz.
45-17, Michigan.
45-17. I will go 49-10, Michigan. Braylon.
42-11.
42-11.
42-11. It's something about that. It made sense in the time.
You got the under
I panicked.
He's got the under 53.5.
You have an alternate score? Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Mike Phillips, Keller Williams' office in Dearborn. We're at the corner of Military and Michigan Avenue in the great city of Dearborn. Everybody, Mike Phillips' staff is here. We've got a trunk or treat happening today in the parking lot at 6 p.m. After the show today, there'll be a meet and greet with Braylon Edwards. We invite everybody to come on out. Again,
I didn't say my full name, man. You're my brother. Just call me Braylon.
Call you Bray. I call you Bray normally.
I should have made this my hometown, by the way.
You?
I should have.
Why wouldn't you?
I should have made this
Not
my
too late.
hometown.
It feels like home, doesn't
belong
it?
here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are going to take a break, come right back. There was a major trade in the NFL today, and I think it was major because I think this is really putting one team over the top potentially in the AFC. We'll tell you why, but first a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's. There's a location near you, many of them here locally in the Metro Detroit area, many more nationwide. There is one near you. Lady Jane's, an award-winning haircut experience. Register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Odds Trader is the number one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price from every game from multiple sports books. Simply put, oddstrader.com is the best. Go to oddstrader.com, and they will give you information to lean you in the right direction so you can make some of that cash, the greenbacks, the bag, as they call it. Simply put, oddstrader.com is the best.
We are live here at Mike Phillips, Keller Williams' office in Dearborn, corner of Michigan and Military. And look who we have joining us now. Voila, Mike Phillips himself.
Hey, thanks,
there he is.
Thanks for being out.
We've got a great crowd out here.
Amazing crowd. It's great to finally put a face, because every time I do the read, I'm always like, my guy, Mike Phillips, 23 years. Well, I told you I wasn't lying. Here's my guy right here.
You were my guy long before you even know it, man.
Now we're
huge,
guys,
huge
man.
fan,
now we're
bro.
guys.
Thanks
get
for
him
having
on.
us.
Get him on.
Hey, you know what time it is. Game on.
You know what, Mike? It's been such a great reception out here. I want to talk about the facility, the place, and the business in just a minute, but we've been talking about this Michigan State game for a couple of weeks now. In most of the season, when you see the representation here from the people in Dearborn, all wearing their maize and blue, and I noticed you've got your maize tie on.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a green tie on, and I was catching some flack from my people. Smart. See, remember, Brian Masalam is our brother too. He's from our community. I actually play football with Brian, so and he and a lot of his people actually work inside here with us. So we're personally, I love them both.
More respectful of the rivalry.
When Michigan was having some of their tougher times, I became a pretty strong State fan as well. And then I thought when Michigan was back, I'm like, who am I going to be for? When the game started, I was just all Michigan.
How do you think this one's going to play out?
I think Michigan State's going to get worn down. I mean, if you watch what Michigan State's offensive line did to Penn State, I mean, that was impressive. Like going into the third quarter, fourth quarter, our line just destroyed those guys, and I think that's going to be too much. But I do want to know, and I talk with my boys about this all the time. I go crazy watching the game at home on Saturdays. Where is Andrew Anthony? Why are we not taking deep shots down the field to that guy? Like, did my eyes play me wrong last year and not see a star worthy of wearing the number one? You're not allowed to wear number one unless you got something special.
Well, that was before a certain guy came, but that's changed.
So where is he, and why are we not throwing him the ball is what I want to know.
It's a good question. It's a question that a lot of fans have. It's a question that I myself as a former player have. Where's number one? This is a guy that I talk to a lot on the phone. I won't share personal conversations, but, he's ready to make a play. I'll just leave it at that. But, you got to look at Jim Harbaugh. You got to look at everywhere he's been, whether it's San Diego, whether it's Stanford, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's here. He doesn't typically have wide receivers that go off. He doesn't have guys that have 800, 900,000, 1,200. So I think he's got to, as he's gotten away from some of his ideologies, you see, like, he's very open to younger coaches now. He's open to listening to players now. I think that's the next and last domino to fall, is being able to throw the ball down the field consistently and not just solely depend on the running game. So I share your pain and your frustrations. They do need to get the ball. I mean, you have Clemens, Roman Wilson, you have Ronnie Bell, you have Andrew Anthony wearing the number one. They have guys to make the plays. I think you got to take the reins off J.J. McCarthy. You said that he's the guy. Let him be the guy.
For sure. And my concern is, too, we are deep at that receiver position, but, we don't want to lose a kid like that and then play against him next year. And then this day and age of transfer, and they're quick to run someone else, let him eat. That, and I say we got to get him the ball. Last year in some of the toughest games, and I don't think that was garbage time against Georgia, he made some plays.
Slant and go.
He's a playmaker. We've seen it, too, a lot with Donovan Edwards later in the season last year. We saw him in the Maryland game. We saw him show up in the Ohio State game, the Big Ten championship game. The ability that these guys have is there. You would like to see that talent showcased a little bit more. Just referring back to that Penn State game, though, it's so hard. I would imagine as a coach, and Braylon, maybe you'd be in this position more than I, certainly, but when you're a coach and you see that you're calling running plays and the running back isn't touched for 6-7 yards, why would you do anything other than run the ball?
It's safe.
It's safe. It might cost you a wide receiver kid down the road. I don't know, but
the way I look
it's so hard.
The way I look at it is like this. Everybody looked at the Cincinnati and Alabama game last year in the playoffs, okay? Alabama threw the ball twice, and they ran up 500 yards of rushing offense on Cincinnati. They didn't use the pass because they didn't need to use the pass. So in the standpoint of Maz, how Maz thinks, Maz is right about that. They didn't use the pass because they didn't need it. They saved it to play in the national championship game, and at one point before our first-round draft pick, James Williams, gets hurt, Alabama has a chance to beat Georgia, but then he gets hurt. So it's hard to argue because it's working. The metrics are working. But I'm just saying, before later, sooner than later, you're going to have to know that you can do that. You're going to have to know that Darius Clemens can go up and get you that 50-50 ball. You got to know that Andrew Anthony can go get you that 3rd and 12 when it's all on the line. You got to know it, because if you don't see it before it happens, how do you know it's there?
Mike, talk to me about the city of Dearborn. Talk to me about what you're doing here at Keller Williams, because you walk in this facility, you drive down Michigan Avenue. I mean, all of these new builds. I mean, it's incredible, the construction and everything that's happening here in the great city of Dearborn. And I know you're doing a lot of great work here. You walk in, so we went in. We're so impressed with this building. It's unbelievable. The energy that you have in there is phenomenal.
Hell of a staff too.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll start with the city of Dearborn. We take a lot of pride in this, the hometown of Henry Ford. A lot of families immigrated here from across the world, many of ours to seek employment. I grew up in the shadows of that Ford plant. My dad's family moved here from North Carolina to his dad work in the plant. My mom's dad moved from Lebanon to work in that plant. That's where they met, and that's the area and the neighborhood that I grew up in, which really was kind of like a hard knocks community, a neighborhood upbringing. At a young age, I knew, man, I got to do something special in my life, and I just started, finding work, finding things to do that I can help my family and give back. And my parents used to give back a lot to the community through sports. They used to take the kids from the neighborhood to basketball tournaments, basketball leagues, football teams. Kind of instilled something in me hey, your calling is to give and to help people. So what I after 18 years in the business, I started understanding what it takes to make it. I said I want to open up something that gives back to the community and helps a lot of these young business-minded professionals here have an avenue to create success in their life. So what I like to say we do here is we inspire, we coach, we train, and we lead individuals to live an outstanding life through real estate. And in doing that, give back to the community. And we have the people that I'm so blessed to be around.
Fantastic.
And to lead.
When we had the chance to meet for the very first time, when we were at WoodwardSports.com, I think that's the first thing that I noticed about you and just listening to you. It was community, it was family, it was reaching back, it was bringing people forward. It was a sense of duty to the community and family, and I love that about you. Part of community is high school and growing up, and I understand somebody was a football player and made the East-West High School All-Star game, much like myself. Talk about that, man.
Yeah, I did that. Actually, I grew up thinking I was a basketball player. Actually was pretty good at it. And actually, we have a professional basketball player in the house right there. Ali, acknowledge yourself.
What's up, brother?
He was a superstar from the community.
Okay.
Actually played professional ball for a little bit. He's part of our family now. But growing up, unlike, Ali, I realized probably about my junior year in high school, there's a lot of good basketball players out there that I just don't dominate the neighborhood. It's a much bigger picture than that. But actually, was also a really good football player as well. I played quarterback, played defensive back. Kind of my niche was more so on defense than offense. I really like to hit people. I was good in coverage. I understood schemes back then.
You should call Aaron Glenn and Dan could use you.
Yeah. I went to Fortson High School, which Fortson is football.
Yeah, 100%.
And we were known as we would like to hit you in the face and come after you. And I carried that with me into the high school All-Star game and actually broke my neck. But
I heard.
I shouldn't have played. You guys familiar with Derek Mason, right?
Oh, yeah.
Derek Mason was on my team, and the first day in practice,
Detroit Mumford.
We didn't have pads. So I was playing safety. He was running a quick slant, and I knew if we had pads, I was going to lay him out, and I knew I should lay off, but I just didn't want to, so I popped him with my shoulder and actually popped my shoulder out of place.
Oh, wow.
So I paid the price for doing that. I should not have done that, especially the Derek Mason
But it
one.
wouldn't be the Fortson way, so you had to do it.
Exactly. So I had to give him a little stick, and it popped my shoulder out of place. Then at that point, I couldn't practice all week, and I was like, man, all my family's going to come to this game. I got to play. I told the trainer, just wrap me up. I'm going to go play. Second play of the game, Randy Kinder gets a draw, who went to Notre Dame.
Yep, Notre Dame.
And then played for the Green Bay Packers. I just read draw right away, came up, just went head-to-head, and ended up fracturing my neck in 2 spots. And
oh, my.
That called it for the football career right there.
Look, man, you can't look at the bad, but you always got to look at the positives of what you're doing in this community, man, for this community, and what you've been able to do through Keller Williams. Mike Phillips, we appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
you, Mike. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Mike Phillips, everybody. Great round of applause. And I know, Mike, it's about the people and the people that you surround yourself with, second to none. Thanks so much, Mike Phillips. All right, we are going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, we will get into that trade in the NFL, which I think tips the balance of power in the AFC. We'll get to that next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Yes, and you can use it right now because the sun is not very hot. I can tell you that right now. Get the Chili Peppers Tanning, 27 locations, and more on the way. The cleanest salons in the D. And if you join the Pepper Club, they're going to save you $5 against any competitor.
Thanks,
on unlimited tanning. They got the best products for your skin while you're there. And it's homecoming season, so you know the kids want to look good. Get them to Chili Peppers Tanning. They will take great care of you. The hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, the darkest hands. Your vitamin D headquarters is ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row. This time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarthy on our side.
Lemieux and McCarthy, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Centron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and now Centron has combined all 3 of their flavors in a limited edition 6-pack. That's right, the cranberry, the sugar-free, and the classic. Go to CentronWorld.com/Red Wings. That's where you can go to get this. Centron has teamed up with WoodwardSports.com, as well as the Wings, the Pistons, the Tigers, and the Lions to re-energize the community. So how about you let them drink it, live it with Centron.
All right, guys. This is one of those things that happens in the NFL where both teams win here. Great trade in the NFL, I think. Let's see what you guys think. We are live at Mike Phillips in Dearborn, by the way. Keller Williams here on the corner of Michigan and Military. The Chiefs have traded for former first-round pick Kadarius Toney of the Giants. The Giants' first-round pick in 2021. Kadarius Toney gets new life for Kansas City. I think this tips the balance of power in the AFC. Let's start there. Let's pick it apart before we get to what the Giants got in return. Kadarius Toney to the Chiefs. What say you, Braylon?
I'm indifferent. I think the world was the same before the pick as it is after the pick. I think Kadarius Toney is a guy that had one game last year. I mean, there is some ability there for the wide receiver, but with Patrick Mahomes, you look at Valdez-Scantling is starting to catch fire just a little bit. Juju Smith-Schuster is making some plays, talking about how they've bonded, why they've bonded there in Kansas City. You look at Travis Kelce playing just as good as ever without Tyreek Hill, and then you still got a guy in the name of Sky Moore where I'm trying to see where he's
Mecole Hardman too.
Exactly. You see Mecole Hardman's actually having some success. They're running him on a lot of reverses. They're giving him the ball out the backfield on some swing plays. So does he add to that? I guess. But, the other side is what I'm very interested in talking about. I think the Kansas City Chiefs may have got a smidge better, but nothing special.
I think Kadarius Toney, when the Giants took him, they had some receivers, and the receivers just didn't work out. Kenny Golladay is not working out. They get this kid. He's supposed to be a stud from Florida. Had some trouble in his past. He's got personality issues. Did not get along with the former Giant coaches. Brian Daboll comes in. I thought this kid was going to be reborn. The Giants need receivers. For them to be dealing this guy, to me, I'm scratching my head a little bit. Maybe they just could not reach him. But I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will unleash the beast. This kid is a tick under for speed under Tyreek Hill. He is. He is a speed demon, this kid.
A tick under Tyreek Hill?
All right, maybe two.
Okay. We're on the same page now.
Okay. I'm just saying, Kansas City got themselves, I think, a hell of a project to work on. He's 2 years in the league, not even.
And conversely, what will happen on the other side, all it took, let's put it up, Fletch, the New York Giants in return
they get a number 3
third
and a 6th
round pick and a 6th round pick. So the Giants, this is from Ari Meirov. The Giants now have 9 picks in next year's draft, likely to get 2 more compensatory picks. The new regime has them at 6-1. Many thought it would be a rebuild year, but that has not been the case. I mean, the Giants are a likely playoff team in the NFC right now, and you have this draft capital. So next year, in the 2023 draft, put it back up for me, please. A first, a second, 2/3, a fourth, a sixth, and two sevenths. This is how you get good quickly. Hello, Brad Holmes. You cannot sit there and do nothing on Tuesday. You just can't stand pat. Do something. Get a player, or better yet, send a player away that will garner you picks. And that player is T.J. Hutchinson.
And maybe Amon-Ra.
He does not fit into the future here. You are not going to pay T.J. Hutchinson top 5 tight end money. You pick up a fifth-year option, and then what?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. If you can get a third-round pick for Hutchinson, bye-bye.
Yeah, this is what happens when you do it on both fronts. This is what happens when Joe Schoen, who's the GM of the New York Giants, and Brian Daboll, you work together. Brian Daboll hiring Wink Martindale. I'm never going to move off that point because that's how well that defense is playing in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. They're doing it with guys. They got Leonard Williams, who actually plays with the Jets now. Leonard Williams is no longer there. Adoree Jackson, who's there, is a DB who was in Tennessee. They're doing it with guys, but they're doing it because they have a system in play, and that's Wink Martin. And then on the opposite side, Brian Daboll's protecting Daniel Jones and working through Saquon Barkley, much like Michigan is working through Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards. And then Joe Schoen, he's making these deals. He's preparing them for the future. They're 6-1 now, and then Schoen's adding picks, adding more and more picks for the 2023 draft. You're going to look around this Giants team. They're here for real. You want to look at it as, it's 6-1, it's a fire. No, this Giants team is here. Now, and adversely on our team, the Detroit Lions, what they need to do, you got to get busy with some picks. If T.J. Hutchinson is not a guy that you plan on paying the big bucks to, then deal him. If they can get a 3 and a 6 for Kadarius Toney, you can't tell me they can't get a 2 and a 5. You can't tell me they can't get a 3 and a 5. You can't tell me that they can't get a 3 and 5 for Hawkins. What I mean by they, you got to look at the tight end position is a very prevalent position in the NFL right now. I mean, you look at George Kittle with the 49ers. You look at Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league, maybe at some point the best tight end ever. You look at the success they
Kyle
had.
Pitts in Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts, who's a guy that's coming out. You look at Freiermuth, how he was on him last year. You look at
Mark Andrews.
et cetera. Mark Andrews who's hurt. But look for a team that needs a tight end that's having success. Look for a team like that. I got one, man. It's the Minnesota Vikings. But there's once again, they're in our division.
They got Irv Smith. I think they still like him. But look at all these trades that have been put out so far. It's been a busy trade week in the NFL, and it ain't going to stop. And look what the Jets went out and did. The Jets sitting at 5-2. They're second banana in New York. So they go out, they lose Breece Hall. That's their team. What do? They go out and they get James Robinson from the Jags. And he's got a new lease on life. He's like, I could not believe that I just got traded to the New York Jets, which a Jet fan would never actually ever in their life think that people would like to go to the Jets now.
I said it.
I know somebody that had a good time going over to the Jets.
I know.
But yeah,
Cleveland.
Look at the second one on this list, guys. The Bears traded Robert Quinn to Philadelphia. That may have just changed the balance. I mean, we have some really good teams in the NFL. Right. I mean, what Philadelphia is doing, what San Francisco did to get Christian McCaffrey, I still think San Francisco is the top dog in the NFC, but I'm not going to fall on the sword for that. I don't know, but we'll see. But Philadelphia got a lot better yesterday. And again, you see these things happening, Bray, and you're just like, why can't we have nice things here in Detroit?
I don't understand how you keep the San Francisco's number 1 and 10. You keep going over the Philadelphia Eagles. What about the Philadelphia Eagles? Don't you like to have the 49ers above them, considering, oh, by the way, they have 3 losses. And the Philadelphia Eagles, last time I checked, donuts.
What are they, 6-0?
6-0.
Yeah.
And they just got better.
It's just my opinion.
But when I make an opinion, I tell you why I made the opinion.
Experience. I like their defense. I like their quarterback. I like their quarterback in January.
Only person that has experience is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Well, I just got to see it. That's all.
How about the defending NFC runners-up?
And they snuck through every one of those games.
But they won them, man.
I understand. I feel you. I 100% I feel you. In no game did everybody think the 49ers were going to win. In no game.
I mean, you got an experienced head coach. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a young coach, but he has been there before. Nick Sirianni's only coached 6 games in his life.
The Philadelphia Eagles have 5 players that have won a Super Bowl. Is that not experience?
I hate to go down this road because to prop one team up, you have to downgrade another.
You don't have to downgrade another. You just have to face what you see in front of your face.
I think San Francisco would beat Philadelphia in January.
The same team that got their ass whooped by the Chiefs last week?
Yep, I called that too.
That was in Kansas City.
I mean, why are you so mad at that opinion?
It's not because it's
why
not
do you hate that opinion?
Because it's not an opinion. Opinion is something you give me a reason why. And then you gave me experience. And then I gave you it was more experience on the Eagles side. I just think because I had told you Jalen Hurts was going to be good, you said no, he's not. Now that he's good, I'm telling you the Eagles are sick. They're better. No, they're not. It's something about that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I guarantee you.
Well, I just don't like their team.
Why don't you like their team?
I mean, I like their team, but I think San Francisco is a better team. That's all.
That also their best lineman is hurt right now, Trent Williams. I'm just telling you.
But we're not even to Halloween yet.
It's a third in.
But every week we talk about who's better, who's the new top 5, who's the top ranked. So don't one time every week tell me this is the new rankings, but then this time, we're only in week 6.
I'm just playing a hypothetical in January.
Well, my hypothetical is the team that just picked up Robert Quinn, who had 18.5 sacks last year, Brandon Graham, who could have been Super Bowl MVP, Jordan Davis, who was they won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl because of his play on Tom Brady. He stripped Tom Brady at the end. Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Super Bowl winner. Bradbury, Darius Slay, who should still be here. On the opposite side, best offense in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is figuring out. Dallas got a Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders.
Just pick Philly.
And the list goes on.
I'm going to say Philly. Philly's going to beat San Francisco.
It's over. Why are we even playing anymore?
Philly will win that.
All right. You guys do it all the time. I do it. All right. You're not busting my balls. I said all right. I moved on.
Who's better than you?
Nobody.
Do you anticipate Brad Holmes doing anything,
No,
or is this
not
just
doing
a
anything.
miserable franchise?
He's not going to
It's
do
just
anything.
a miserable franchise. They love us being miserable. I'm fully convinced.
Maybe they'll
that
trade for Chase Daniel again.
What is
backup quarterback?
Remember in 1983 the umpire and Earl Weaver.
I was born in 83.
Earl Weaver and the umpire going toe to toe, nose to nose, arguing with each other. You are a liar, Earl, a liar.
Were they arguing over the Eagles and the 49ers?
No, they were arguing over the Tigers. And one of the things Earl Weaver said, you are here for one GD specific reason.
Right.
To screw us. And he didn't say screw. He said the F word.
Gotcha.
And I fully believe the Detroit Lions ownership is on this earth to sit here and just to say, screw you, Lions fans. I mean, they just can't do anything. And it's so frustrating. They are on this earth to do one specific thing, and that's to screw us.
What players do you even think the Detroit Lions could move that people will want? Realistic players.
Hutchinson.
No. I guess Hawk. Who else?
Oruwariye, potentially. He did have 6 picks last year.
He had 6 penalties last game.
That's it.
That's it.
Maybe an offensive lineman. Maybe an offensive lineman.
Ragnow.
But they love offensive
Not
linemen.
Ragnow. Taylor Decker?
No, but
Evan Brown you got.
Yeah, but you would have Evan Brown,
right?
But
we
Evan
can't
Brown's
even
not
give
gonna,
Lions players away.
I mean, I'm just saying you probably
Swift?
have 3 or 4, and now Okudah, but you're not getting rid of Okudah now.
Not after everything you got.
So
back.
you probably have 2, maybe 3 players that other teams would want.
If somebody maybe wanted a good backup quarterback, maybe they trade for Jared Goff.
Maybe DeAndre Swift,
but they wouldn't pay him.
Would DeAndre Swift be a guy?
That's what I was asking.
He
would have to have a good game this Sunday.
It's miserable to even
show
think
that
about.
He's even healthy.
This football team, I'm not letting them get under my blood. I'm not letting them get under my
it sounds
blood.
that way.
I'm not going to do it anymore. I just can't do it. Guys, do you know what today is?
You know what time it is?
Do you know what time it is?
Uh-oh.
It is time for Top 10 Thursday.
Top 10 Thursday.
We're going to do it next, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see the black and yellow sign out in front of the house? Tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Summertime, fall, whatever season it may be. And it's fall right now. The leaves are on the ground. That means you spend less time outside. I don't even know. This is.
By the way, it's
how about I just do the read that I have memorized?
By the way,
in my
you
own
like
head.
picking up leads?
Yeah,
you like making leads, right?
This one is outdated. Hey, Guardian Alarm, I got you. Guardian Alarm, they're your local security experts, whether you are at home or on the road. They're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call this number above my head right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. At Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for Big Boy, and for a limited time only,
Big Boy.
Get on down there and get those loaded fries and, of course, the all-new burgers, including the chili cheeseburger and the bacon blue. Don't forget, the Slim Jim is now the Big Jim. And how about those loaded fries? You don't want just plain fries. You want chili cheese fries, nacho fries, baked potato fries. You want to satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Okay, gang, we are live here at Mike Phillips, Keller Williams' office in Dearborn, Michigan. We're at the corner of Michigan and Military. After the show today, there's going to be a meet and greet with Braylon and a trunk or treat in the parking lot.
What kind of candy?
Of this facility. Good candy.
You know it's going to be the good stuff.
Good
You know
candy.
it's going to be the good stuff.
Some Hershey
No
bars?
doubt about it.
All right.
That happens here at 6 o'clock, so we invite you to come on out and take part in that. Yes.
Did you guys know where the good candy were when you were kids?
No.
Did you know where the houses to go to that had the good
Hell
candy?
yeah.
Thank you, man.
I still do.
It's same with us.
You know,
this is going to be like the first year that I don't go trick-or-treating, and it's killing me.
Oh,
really?
that's right.
You come with me.
Oh, the girls are good.
I would at least follow I would follow my kids around, and it was the time of my life.
Oh,
this is the first year ever in my life that I'm not going trick-or-treating. I gotta find some nephews or nieces around here.
Now will you go home? I just say you can come with me.
I'm coming with you.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
Now,
Where are we going?
I don't know. We'll go to some houses.
We'll go to Oxford. Oxford's the best block in Grosse Pointe.
Oh, good. Hey, let me ask you. With all of I talked to a guy earlier today that he is taking his kids to a trunk or treat. He's taking his kids to a trunk or treat or some sort of trick or treating thing for the last week.
Nice.
At that point, do you go trick or treating anymore?
Yeah. Of course you do.
Like the last week.
He's gone to one every night.
Oh,
do you go trick or treating on Monday then?
Yeah, you got to.
And here's the silly question for you. Halloween question.
Yeah.
Should they change trick or treating
to
the last Saturday of October?
No. What are you, Neil Rule?
The last Saturday of October, trick or treating.
No.
Yeah. No?
No way.
Just do it on the Monday night.
No way, no how. Whatever it falls, that's where you go.
Appreciate you, brother. As a parent, Adam always on point. As a parent, I mean, last Saturday makes it you know what it is. You have the next day off. You can get out there with the kids. I mean, Monday is a tough day. You have a hard Sunday. Then you go to work. And they got to come home, take the kids trick or treat. At least you know on the Saturday it's already built in there, man. I wouldn't have a problem.
Like I think of my 7 and 5-year-old who are going to go trick or treating on Monday night. We're going to go, obviously. I'm going to tell them, go knock on these doors that, you see the light, you knock on the door, you get the candy, whatever. And then they're going to be so excited. They're going to come home. They're going to dump out their pails. And I'm going to say, you can't eat that candy. Get to bed because you got school tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I don't want you up all night.
You let them eat a couple of pieces.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah. They're going to eat it throughout the night.
Either way. Hey, gang, it is a Top 10 Thursday. Braylon Edwards, what do we got today for Top 10 Thursday?
Well, I figured it was only fitting that, since it's the Michigan State week, why didn't we do, in the last 30 years, the best 10 Michigan State games?
Best 10 Michigan State games.
I'm doing 12, actually, and it is fair. It is 6 Michigan State. It is 6 Michigan. I didn't want to be that guy. So it's not in order, though. That's the one thing, Flesh, that I messed you up on. I kind of did in chronological order. Yeah, so it's got numbers. It's chronological order. So you can take these games wherever you want to put them. But this is the list. This is the order. I'm kind of looking over here.
Oh, you got a top 12.
Yeah, because I could, I
love it.
I never do 5. I do 6. I never do 10. I do 11. So here we go. Oh, here we go. Got the one I needed.
Oh, thanks.
Top 12 Michigan games, Michigan State games over the past 30 years. Coming in at number 12, although it's not in order in terms of this is what I think the game is, but it's just numbered that way. The no-flag game, 1990, that was Desmond Howard trailing late in that game. Derek Alexander caught a touchdown. They needed a 2-point conversion to go for the win. They went for the 2-point conversion. Desmond Howard doesn't catch the pass, but just wait. He did get tripped by a DB. The flag wasn't called. Michigan State wins the game. Coming to number 11, God creating – oh, my God, thank you. God creating Woodson. Now, if you go to the Sistine Chapel, on the ceiling is a picture, one of the most prolific paintings of all time. It's Michelangelo, God creating Adham. Well, that's what happened when Charles Woodson caught that one-hand interception in 1997. He reached to the heavens as God was creating him, and he won the Heisman later on that year. That's my game. That's the one. That's the game that made me go to Michigan. Actually, coming in number 10, the original Megatron. Before there was Calvin Johnson, there was a 6'6" individual at Michigan State named Plaxico Burress. He demolished Michigan. He destroyed them. I was at the game. Broke my little heart as I was a Michigan guy.
Oh, that was my guy Dave Terrell played defense.
And he got beat up too.
Oh, yeah, real bad.
Dave Terrell got beat up too. I think he went on to have 3 touchdowns that game. Michigan State wins. Number 9, Clockgate. That was my freshman year at Michigan State. Spartan Bob stopped the clock for 1 second on it, so Michigan State had another play. They, i.e., threw the touchdown to T.J. Duckett. They go on to win. They cheated since that. They changed the rule. The time is now kept on the field, not in the scorer's booth. Number 7, they call it the Braylon game. I skipped number 8. Number 8 is the payback. Because of Spartan Bob in 2001, when we played Bobby Williams in 2002, we beat them 49-3. I think that was payback enough. Look at number 7 if it is on that list.
Bobby Williams fired. They got John L. Smith
Bobby
fired.
Williams got himself fired.
Yeah, well.
Bobby Williams got himself fired. Number 7, where are we on this list?
Braylon game, 7.
Braylon game, triple overtime. You know what that one was. Big effort by a lot of people. Mike Hart, little known thing. Mike Hart had 221 yards in that game. Hell of a game by him. Jason Vine had the best catch in the game to me in the corner of the end zone in overtime. But we end up coming back on those guys. Number 6. Where we at with a number 6?
Little brother game.
Little brother, you know what that was. Mike Hart, after the game, he made the infamous comment. It's like your little brother, man. You act like you're going to let him win, and then you take the game right from under him. They did that. And then in 2008, they weren't any little brother anymore. 2013, that was the bloody Taylor Lewan play. That's why all the Michigan State people give him stuff. He had all the blood on his face. Looked like he played a Warriors game like Michigan won. Not so fast, my friend. Michigan had negative 48 yards rushing. Michigan State dominated that game and went on to win. Oh, my God. Number 4. Everybody knows that one. Trouble with the snap. 2015, I remember being at the stadium when Michigan got their last snap and was about to get the ball. I said, you know, it's time to go home. Game's over.
Oh, and he had trouble with the snap.
Game's over.
And the ball is free. It's Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson.
Oh, my God.
And he's going to score.
Don't remind me. Then he scored
on the last play of the game.
All they had to do was go max protect punt, but hey, what do I know? Number 3, the following year, we're back. Jabril Peppers has an amazing game as he solidifies his Heisman performance, getting him to the Heisman and solidifying the game with the 2-point conversion return for a touchdown. And then number 2, don't let the door hit you. Mark D'Antonio, he said pride comes before the fall. He was the one that got Michigan State back on track. He made it a rivalry game. But you know what? Before he left, before his last year, man, you know what Michigan did? We said, get your butt out of here. 44-10 was the final score. Hey, guess what? Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. And then number 1 last year, undefeated Michigan and Michigan State. Both teams come in undefeated. Michigan State walks out with the victory, so had to put that game in there. That probably was the number 1 game in terms of magnitude that I've seen with my 2 eyes.
That's a hell of a list. Maz,
that's a hell of a list,
walk
man.
me back.
Yeah.
Take me back. And for the people who have not heard it, take me back to Spartan Bob game.
I can. I was on the Michigan radio broadcast team. We were at Spartan Stadium, obviously. Frank Beckman, Jim Brandstatter with the call. Steve Courtney on the sidelines for our station at that time. And, I was there producing the game and just running back and forth between the booth and the press box. Obviously, Frank Beckman and Brandstatter's call, you guys all know it by now. They stopped the clock when they shouldn't have, Jim. Robbery, thievery, and I had to drive these guys home in our company van, and I couldn't wait to get home because it was Game 6 of the World Series that night. Yankees and Arizona. Yankees are going to close out the Diamondbacks and win it for New York.
Not so
2000
fast.
win. 2001. Andy Pettit's going to be on the mound.
Oh, they should have done it.
Couldn't wait. I got the radio on, and these 3 guys, I'm driving, and they're like, shut that damn radio off, Matt. I'm like, come on, guys. What do you mean? No, shut it off. Okay, I shut it off. And basically, They made me drive home in complete silence. They did not want to talk. They were so pissed that they didn't even want to have a conversation or hear another word about it. They took that game really, really hard. Meanwhile, I just wanted to get home and watch the World Series. But it was thievery, no question about it.
No doubt.
3, 2, 1.
One.
The one thing I always say about that game is, did Michigan State cheat? Absolutely. Smart and Bob, stop the clock, blah, blah, blah. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as this. We put ourselves in that situation because two plays before the touchdown was a pass interference on defense, and then the play after that, it was a 12-man on the field. So we put ourselves in position to put them that close to be able to cheat and call timeout. So you got to look at all of the equation. Michigan on defense, they played themselves. They're undisciplined, and as a result, we let them in. And that's why I said earlier, we can't let it be up to fate. You got to close the door. Don't even let chance. Don't even let chance rear its ugly head. You got to put them away early.
I will never forget that Spartan Bob game, but I will also never forget that Braylon Edwards game. I was a young reporter at Fox 2.
You still look like a young reporter.
In 2004, covering the Michigan State game. I thought I was the coolest.
You were on the field,
I was
you?
On the field in the end zone, standing behind you.
Wow.
And I saw that ball, one of Chad Henne's balls. It's the one where you kind of go like that.
Okay, yeah.
I thought the ball was coming for me on the field, and then all of a sudden, number one comes from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And not from out of nowhere, but kind of comes and just grabs the ball out of the air. I will never forget the electricity in the stadium.
That was Mike Tirico
that
game.
night. That was a Mike Tirico game, absolutely. But that was one of those. You notice all those games, they're called something, but nobody's got, the Woodson game in 97, the Braylon game in 04. And it's really the Woodson catch. It's not the Woodson game. It's the Woodson catch. But to have an entire game named after you in the series, that is pretty darn impressive, man.
I appreciate it, man. It's dope. It feels good. It's one of those things you always have that, in your backyard growing up. It was like 3, 2, 1. They throw the ball up, you catch it. But it happened. But the good thing about it is everybody balled in that game.
Right.
Lamar ends up having 2 huge plays in that game. Obviously, one of them took Drew Stanton out, which is a legal hit. You look at Mike Hart. You look at Garrett Reeves knocking down field goals when we need him. Onside kick recovered by Brian Thompson. Jason Avant making a hell of a catch in the end zone on the right side in the second overtime. The defense getting a stop in the first overtime. We kicked the field goal in the first overtime. Mm-hmm. They marched down and they were first and goal after the fourth play. And so to get a goal line stand in the first, everybody played a part in that one. You call it what you want to. What were the
records of those teams?
You said what?
What were the records of those two teams?
Michigan, we had one loss. We were 8-1 or 9-1, and Michigan State was 5-3, something like that. Like they weren't ranked,
but they were competitive. They
were
competitive.
A pretty good
team.
I mean, Drew Stanton was on that team. DeAndre Cobb, Agim Shabazz was on that team. You had some players, Jason Harmon. You had some pretty good players on that team. Kevin Vickerson, who played 14 years in the NFL.
Going to take a break, come right back. When we do want to go around the NFL. Also, something we did not discuss in regards to the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell and Headset Gate.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. If you are like me, feeling out of shape and overweight, Custom Health Center helps take the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com. CustomHealthCenters.com, or call them today, 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag #WoodwardFrontRow. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man!
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, two butt cheeks, and a rock.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there.
Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Are we up? Are we on? Yes, sir. Oh, man. Want to buy, sell, invest in a home? Come down to Dearborn. Let my man Michael Phillips get you in the game. Keller Williams, 23 years. This man has been doing it. That's why he's number one. But guess what? That's whether you're a fan, whether you're a game player, game on, get it in. Mike Phillips knows how to make you feel important because they do it the right way here. And when I say here, we are actually here at Keller Williams in Dearborn. My man Michael Phillips.
Go!
You know what time it is. 313-403-0011. Game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just think there's a number of things. I think we've got to refocus him on awareness in the pocket a little bit. Just continue to hammer it home. You know, sometimes it's just, and it's not just him. There's quarterbacks that'll begin to drift a little bit where they feel certain things. You start moving and you don't realize you may be moving deeper than you need to, or you're moving into something else. And I really do. We just have to continue to stress it, coach it, show it, because he understands. He responds to it. He sees it. He knows it. And then there again, we just have to get him in a rhythm, you know. And it doesn't matter what quarterback you are. You don't want to be put when you're facing a team that's got very good rushers like what we just saw. You don't want it to be where you're one-dimensional and, you know, their rear's this high in the air and they're in a track stance. That's tough. That's tough on any quarterback, but it certainly it makes it difficult. So we'll keep emphasizing it. Play with rhythm. You know, stay in the pocket and make the throws. He sees it. He's aware of it. Yeah, I believe that. We just look. There was a couple of those snafus that showed up certainly early. The Philly, Seattle, but those are. Now it hurts because those were big ones, right? It hits and it goes back for a touchdown. But yet those were one of a couple maybe where it was the other was really good. And he got in a rhythm, and he was playing hot, and he was sitting in the pocket. So he's can do this. I mean, he's done it. We got to get him back to it. He will.
That audio courtesy of Brad Galley, Channel 7 here in Detroit, WXYZ. Dan Campbell talking about we gotta get Jared Goff better awareness in the pocket. Are you kidding me?
No, we got to retrain him. He said that's what he basically said.
Oh my goodness,
we got to get him thinking
poor guy.
about staying in the pocket.
Every snap the Detroit Lions take with Jared Goff as their quarterback is a wasted snap. I just, until they get their quarter, they're wasting my time and everybody else's. Because until they get their quarterback, the rebuild doesn't start.
I just love that Dan Campbell's playing the deflection game now. Like he's like pointing at other people. He's like, you know what? So you don't focus on me. Yeah, man. Jamal Williams doesn't need to fumble. Yeah, you know what? Jared Goff, we got to get him back focused in the pocket. Yeah, that'll do it. Come on, Dan Campbell. Like enough of this. Enough of this. You guys got to find a way to win in the fourth quarter. That's the bottom line. You can tell me what you want to about everything else. You know what? I'll skip the first 3 quarters. I'll skip who's playing the game. I'll skip who you guys are playing against. You guys got to find a way to win the fourth quarter because you've let 3 games go in the fourth quarter, games that you should have won. I don't care anything about Jameson Williams not playing. I don't care about it being about the draft picks that you don't have. I don't care about it the free agent defensive players that Brad Holmes chose not to bring in because he wanted to save money. He was preparing for the 2023 season. I get all that. Talk about the fourth quarter where Dan Campbell let you down every freaking time. Now he's pushing the blame towards Jared Goff. I feel bad for Jared Goff because he's right back at square one when he left the St. Louis the Los Angeles Rams. He's right back at square one now.
Well, I certainly don't feel bad for Jared Goff, but I
don't.
I agree with everything you said up until then. I do think Dan Campbell is deflecting blame a little bit, a lot bit actually, to be honest. It's almost like a hey, look at them, don't look at me kind of thing. It's hard to argue that that's what's happening. Is it putting personal responsibility on these guys? Because if I'm a player and I see my head coach kind of calling me out like that, I'm pissed.
What are you pissed about? They did make the mistakes. He's not staying in the pocket. He's running into sacks. He's missing wide open guys.
You want your head coach to have your back at all times.
Is Jared Goff at the podium dissing Dan Campbell when he's consistently making in-game decisions the wrong way, when he's not progressing as a head coach? Now I understand the dynamic where the head coach is here and the player is here. But that's slowly, shortly changing in 2022 in terms of media perceptive and appeal. So when you tell me, this guy has to do this, well, wait a minute, coach. Aren't you the same guy doing the same thing a year later? Are you the same guy that was 3-13 and won last year? Now here you are sitting at 1-5. Whoa, coach.
Yeah, we'd have a much different perception of it if Jared Goff came to the podium and it was like, that 4th and 9 play, I don't really understand what was going on there. I was doing the best I could. I thought we should have kicked the field goal in that position.
Exactly.
I thought we should have punted in that position.
I don't think he's throwing Goff under the bus. I think he's saying we got to coach him up better. He knows better. Why? He didn't come out and say, look, the guy don't know what he's doing. He said, this guy has been there before. We have to get him comfortable again. Get him back to stay in the pocket. You're running into sacks, for crying out loud. He mentioned Jamal Williams on the fumble. Yeah, those things happen. Go to that fumble for a minute, because I brought it up on Monday, and we all talked about it. And we talked about it on text. The Woodward Sports text.
The Woodward Sports post-game show text.
The post-game show text. So you have to have a show on the Woodward Sports text. So during the show on the Woodward Sports text, I mentioned, why the hell are they rushing to the line on 1st and goal when, in fact,
I agree with you on
this. You should have looked at the spot of the ball, all right? And then people are like, no, you don't do that, Maz. You don't challenge it for a half a yard. Because God forbid we lose a timeout. Instead, we run our guy into a brick wall because it looks like the offensive line wasn't even ready to snap the damn ball. And Jamal fumbled, his first fumble as a Lion that he lost. First fumble since the Packer days that he lost. So what happens? Yesterday, he says, and if you remember, he threw his headset on the ground after that play, which just looked to me like he was disgusted. But in fact, they weren't working. So he couldn't talk to his coach upstairs.
He could hear, but he couldn't talk.
He couldn't talk to say, let's challenge this. Well, instead of just taking the damn red thing out of his pocket and throwing it on the ground, he pissed it away, and they lost the game.
So I was in the car.
So that sounds like, once again, another Dan Campbell problem.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right, Braylon.
Thanks for making my point.
That's exactly right.
So Dan Campbell
I was listening. I don't remember what I was doing, but I got in the car at the time. And I hear Dan Miller's radio call. And if you go back and listen to the radio call, it's incredible. It's I forgot who the tight end to catch the ball down to the 1.
89.
89. Bryant,
yeah,
whatever. 89. He's running down. Dan Campbell said, a touchdown. Oh, no, they mark it with the 1, and they rush to the line. Jamal Williams handoff fumble. It's like,
you knew it was going to happen.
Why are you rushing to the line?
No reason.
Take your time. What are you trying to – you've got 3 first-round picks on that offensive line. Why are you trying to catch the defense?
They weren't even ready, Ryan. They weren't ready.
Catch the defense off guard?
It looks like he ran into a brick wall.
I mean, I just don't even – and they blew that up. It's so dumb I can't even handle it.
But what he says is, I couldn't get in touch with the replay guy. So how about taking your time?
Trust your gut.
Maybe call a timeout if you have to. Throw the flag if you have to. Throw the red flag.
You know what you
Take your time, man.
You know what you could do? You could throw the flag, Braylon. You have an official that comes over to you and talks to you.
Exactly.
And then you decide, oh, yeah, okay, I don't want to challenge it anymore.
Let me take it
or
back.
I want to challenge. Let me take it back.
Tell him your headphone didn't work.
Yeah.
Tell him the truth. Tell him your headphones don't work.
It's
funny.
just
He makes a
so
lot of these.
dumb.
He makes a lot of these type decisions, but he never makes the ones that he should. He makes a lot of 4th downs. He goes for it. He goes for a field goal. Here he does this. He blames it on the win. What I'm starting to notice, is a lot of blaming and a lot of finger pointing out of Dan Campbell. Oh, it's the wind. Oh, it's the quarterback. Oh, it's the young guys making mistakes. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. When is it you, Dan Campbell?
All right, we're going to take
I still want an apology from the group text, from WSN's Twitter text.
You
I want an apology.
It was only two people that you're talking about.
That's a good point.
Who's that? Rule? Neil Rule?
Neil and Chad.
Yeah, it's just those two. It was just those two.
Neil Stud comes back to me last night at midnight. He comes back to me. I'm like, did you read the freaking article? He said, these are the words. My headset didn't work.
Mass, but that's the thing. That's the Neil Rule speaker right there.
Oh, my God. It's so great. Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. Lots of NFL news and notes to get to. But first, a message from Swiss.
All right, man. I got to see it. Been on location, man. I'm like never prepared.
I know. I'm like the
worst. I'm like the worst on location. But because I know they have a special read. Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. And it's very rewarding, but it comes with great responsibility. If you sit on a local sports board, youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure your kids and parents and volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance immediately because they care about family and they care about community. You want to get a hamburger?
Using the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarthy on our side.
Lemieux and McCarthy, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, get a free Woodward Sports T-shirt right now. You need a sweatshirt today, though. Get a free one at, of course, Big Frog in Novi. You got to stop in. Tell them that we sent you. They're going to print you one right up there on the spot. Check them out at Big Fry Novi and get your free T-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Oh, Beydoun.
Listen, like I say, he stepped up just in regards to what we asked him to do, and you could tell he was locked in last week, and there was a look to him, and he said coming out of the bye, he acknowledged things he wanted to work on, and he took that to AP, and he just, you could see it, and he was locked in, and when you tackle like that as a corner, and then you see him challenge on the perimeter outside, man, that's what you're looking for, and so I expect him to continue to trend that way.
Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, baby.
What's up, brother?
Look at this. We bring in the big shooters here in Dearborn. We are live from Mike Phillips, Keller Williams headquarters here in the great city of Dearborn, Michigan. Adham Beydoun makes a stop. Dearborn's finest Beydoun.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm great. It's a little chilly, man.
Yeah, it is.
We're in your backyard, man.
Get close to there.
Loose to who? Loose to who?
Yourselves.
There's
no way you're losing the state.
I'm about to tell you.
All right, Beydoun.
I'm trying my hardest to carve out a plan for Michigan to lose this game, and I just can't.
Takes JJ throwing like 4 interceptions,
and even then they can't score.
Yeah,
so
that's bad.
JJ
I'm thinking like 50 to
4,
14, man. It's gonna be really bad.
That's
it's
what
depressing.
I said the other day.
Beydoun, you were earlier this season. You were kind of like you were all in on this Michigan State. You were baptized as a Spartan. Do you wish you kind of went back on that?
No, sometimes in life, you just got to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Right? So you just got to take a dick kick every once in a while and move on.
Do you still believe that Tuck is coming?
I don't know. Everybody seems like they're coming every once in a while. I hope he comes. I don't know.
What? You are
honest to
goofball.
God, Monday,
Yeah.
I'm hoping Michigan State wins, and that's like a 0.0000001%
Can I
chance.
smoke cigars in the studio?
Oh, absolutely. I'll bring you a hookah.
Yeah, I'll bring the hookah.
Hey, you should bring a camel in on Monday.
A camel.
Can I have the
Maz,
belly
I could
dancers?
barely get a lamb to the studio. You want me to go get a fucking camel?
Can I have the can I have the belly dancers on Monday?
Yeah, whatever you want. I'll bring strippers for you.
I like that.
belly
Yeah,
dancers.
very good.
Two things about the Michigan State game. Michigan State game is JB leaving? All right, JB.
JB's
from a Michigan point of view, name something that could potentially worry you about Michigan going into this game, and name something that could be
Arrogance.
Arrogance
Arrogance is
and
the
something
only
you
way.
want to see from Michigan. Arrogance.
Oh, I want to see Michigan dominate Michigan State. This is
in
a
the
game they
passing
should
game or
win.
just everything.
They don't need to throw the ball maybe more than 8 times. They'll be
Yeah.
able to run all over them, and if they have to throw it, they can throw it. Michigan State's secondary sucks, so. Again,
very good.
As much as I'd love State to win, don't get me wrong, I get to show up on a Monday, make fun of all you guys, I get to smoke, but the reality is Michigan State are uber underrated in terms of talent compared to Michigan. It's not even close. They're so bad.
Yeah, I think the big thing too, just thinking about Michigan State, I think most times where people coming to their first season, you're waiting for that. You give them that pass that first season, you guys, you work through some things. You work through the last coach's recruits, last coach's players, figure out the identity, you stub your toe. And I think because, you can throw the COVID thing out because of how he got recruited. Shit, he became the head coach, excuse my friend, via Zoom.
Hey, dude shows up, we all start swearing.
I know, right? It's like that, but like via Zoom, that's only ladies joke. But via Zoom, so you kind of forgive him for the COVID year. So his real first year, he goes 11-3, and now he comes back. I think the big thing is K9 masked how bad of a team or how average of a team they were last year. So now the expectations from everybody are way too high because they weren't really what they were last year. I know it sounds crazy.
I don't think it is. They overachieved, and that
that's what I'm
hurts.
saying.
That hurts a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because you win 11 games, it's like, well, I mean, at least 9 the second year, right? Take a little step back. You lose Kenneth Walker, who, by the way, should have been in New York. I don't care what anybody says. That's a whole different conversation. Should retroactively get the Heisman, considering what he's doing in Seattle right now. But anyways.
Aiden has 6
Who
sacks.
won it last year? I forget.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Aiden, I believe, was second.
Yeah.
Stroud or
Yeah.
Pickett
Stroud
was third. Yep.
Stroud was third.
But regardless,
Kenny was
I
barely
think
there.
you're right.
Kenny was there for optics.
Fifth.
To an extent, look, Michigan State, you want to have high hopes.
Yeah.
But it was always going to be the third, the fourth year, and this is really only his second year.
I agree.
The fact that you get a all-time running back in college football your first year, you
He
win
had
11
lightning
games.
in the bottle.
Yeah, it was lightning in the bottle, and at the end of the day,
But
you're going to question coaching.
Regardless, though, AB, nobody expected this. I mean, they're not even going to be bowl eligible.
They suck,
probably
they suck nuts
nobody
right now.
expected
It's not
this.
good. Yeah, look,
nobody.
It's not good. They're 3-4. They're lucky to win 6 games this year. It's not looking great. They still got Penn State at the end of the
6
year.
games. Lucky if
they're
win 4
lucky.
games.
That's what I said,
That's
Mass.
4. That's 6.
4. You're a jackass. They're not
4.
winning 4 only.
4. That's what they
You want
want
to bet?
Well, what is it?
You wanna bet?
Rutgers and Indiana, so you might win
They'll win
5.
5 games at the worst.
What bowl you
Mass,
going
take
to?
it easy.
Indiana's
Take
physical.
it easy, all right?
Indiana's physical. Indiana's a physical team.
All right. You
All
know
right,
what?
while I got you here, let me switch to the Lions real
Oh,
quick.
God.
Dan Campbell.
And my favorite.
From one
Dan
storm
Cam-
to another.
Martha Ford. Sheila Ford.
Same thing, though.
Sheila Ford.
Sheila
Sheila Hamp. Oh, heaven forbid. Sheila
I
Hamp.
might have to add that forward back.
Um,
I'm about to add that
she
forward
says, essentially, be patient.
Yeah, I don't
And
know why.
I saw your
I don't
Twitter
like it.
the other day.
Be patient. What a
That
stupid
word
word.
should be
Be
outlawed.
patient.
That word should be
You know what? You
outlawed.
need a heart transplant.
Yeah.
Be patient. We'll find you one. You're going to die in a week. Just be patient.
This is
65 years, 1 playoff win. Be patient. Kiss my ass. Tell me be patient.
Well, when
This is
you see what
To a
the
certain
New
extent.
York
You have a turd
Giants
as a head coach. If Kyle Shanahan was there on Sundays on the sideline losing with this crap team, I could deal with it. All right, Sean McVay, young Sean McVay coming in, making everything look pretty.
Yeah.
A turd, onside kicks,
No
timeouts
faith.
before halftime, giving up big plays
You
out of
polish it
timeouts,
up,
coming
anywhere
out of a
it's a
bye
turd.
week, 5 turnovers, 8 penalties.
5
Kiss my
turnovers.
ass.
I agree.
And then a year from now, when they fire him,
And then you push it on.
Jimmy's
you
gonna
were
have
too
to take
hard
his
on
kid
him.
far.
But then here's the thing, Adam, and this
Your fault.
Adam, this is the thing that's bothering me. And he's starting to, every game, every loss, every week, it's starting to be a new deflection. It's starting to be a pointing the finger in a new direction. After the Patriots game, it was like, well, the wind was doing this. After last week, it was like, well, I couldn't hear my headset. Well, Jared Goff, we need to get him back. Well, he's starting to point blame at players, and I don't like that because if players were to say, you know what, our coach sucks, they will be.
He's coached 23 games. Maybe one game I can look at, Arizona last year, where special teams, defense, Offense, it all worked. He hasn't been able to put all three phases of the game, and I'm sorry. You want to talk about coaching? Coming out of a bye week?
Yeah.
A bye week?
Yeah.
5 turnovers, 8 penalties. Inexcusable. Get out of my face. He's a turd.
My
mother could do a better job coaching this team.
Can't have it.
He turned it over? I forgot. Did he play?
Maz, he's responsible for the team. You're not going to make excuses right now. I'm going to swear up a storm.
Did he play?
He's responsible for every individual, Maz.
Did he tell Jared
No,
Goff
but
to
you
did Pete Carroll tell Russell Wilson to throw an interception at the goal line against New England in the Super Bowl?
The Jamal Williams fumble was on Dan Campbell. We just did a segment on it. That fumble was on Dan Campbell.
Maz,
you know that. We just talked about it for 10 minutes.
I just want to know if he was responsible for all 5 turnovers.
He's responsible for every individual.
He almost beat Dallas in Dallas. They should have beat
Almost. My mother almost was born as a dude. She could have been my dad. She's not. She's my mom.
We know that. Get a new
life.
We know that.
What's happening on the morning show? What do you guys? You guys are killing it on that morning show.
I'm losing track of what I'm doing, honestly.
Talk to me about that morning show. You and Jeff
Pistons and Red Wings, man.
Yeah,
That's where we're getting some love now. The Pistons and Red Wings. Talk about that a little bit.
Look, we'll just keep taking the heat in the morning for you guys, and you guys can all be like friends and nice, and everybody loves you. I'll take the social media heat. You guys don't worry about it.
What are you taking heat for?
Sheila. We didn't talk
Sheila?
about this. Yeah, I'm already in trouble, man.
Oh, yeah.
You went after Sheila?
Well, look, we went after Sheila, too.
Yeah,
not like you. Not like you. Yeah, we don't go after. We didn't go after her. But
Brian,
what is she going to say?
Brian, what is she going? Nothing. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Don't hire a turd.
Well,
where's Michael? Where's Michael? Michael's over there.
What do you want Sheila to say?
Michael's over there, right? He runs the place. Yeah. If he hires a turd, right, in the HR department, and everybody's upset, nobody wants to work here anymore, is that the turd's fault or Michael's fault? It's his fault. Yeah. So she hired the turd. It's her guy. She doesn't want to admit he's a turd. She's going to wait till next year, and then we're going to do this all over again, and then there's going to be the new coach, and they're going to sell you on the new coach. And that's going to be another 15, 20 years. Maybe I'll be alive to see them have a winning record. Who knows?
What is a reasonable amount of time? Hold on. What is a reasonable amount of time to understand if you have hired said turd or not?
A year and a half in.
Year and a half.
Right around.
Okay, so you got about
over
3
20
more games.
Over 20 games.
So you got about 3 more games.
Yeah.
To figure it out.
Yeah, look, if he wins the next 2, he would shock me. But even then, I still think he's a turd. Calling timeouts before halftime, not letting the clock go out, giving teams extra possessions, onside kicks when it's a 2-possession game in the third quarter. I mean, this is like some next-level dumb stuff. So, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Very good.
What I look at it is this.
It's cold. Holy hell.
Dude, I'm freezing.
What I look at it as relates to Dan Campbell is this. Do I think he'll get better as a head coach? The answer is no. I do not think he'll get better.
You know who he'd be good at?
But you hire.
He'd be good at giving TED Talks.
But look,
that's what he should be doing, not coaching a professional football team.
I agree. But you hired him. Here he is. You paid him. You gave him 6. Not you. Sheila hired him. You gave him 6 years. Okay, we know he's not going to get better. I will still give him.
Braylon, what's a 6-year contract? You were in the NFL. You got a 6-year deal before. It doesn't matter. If you came into the league and you were catching 5 balls a year, you wouldn't have lasted 6 years.
No, not at all. What I was going to say, what I was going to finish with is he gets through this year. You got to look at the moves that are going to be made in the offseason by Brad Holmes in the draft and free agency. There are going to be some good moves. The team's going to be a better team next year. You see Josh Pascal, Jameson Williams will get some plays here and there. Kirby Joseph will start to come along. Maybe even Mitchell gets healthy in the offseason. Then you get a fresh round of picks in 2023. Do you want Dan Campbell to be the guy coaching this team that might have a much better chance next year than they do this year? That's the question.
No, I don't. I sure as hell don't. I'd fire him right now if I was
fired. You're fired.
Maz, you're too nice on them. I don't know why. How old are you, Maz?
I'm old.
You're old?
He's seen a lot of guys
old
fired.
enough. What are we doing here? Come on. Come on, Brian Dable, some bald fat guy is out in New York winning 6 games with a roster I couldn't even name. A bunch of bums. You got somebody that grew up here is winning 5 games with the Jets. The Jets fucking suck. And they're winning games. They just lost their running back. I got to be patient. I got to be patient.
I got to be patient.
I got to be patient.
I got to get you a break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching at home, we do not condone the language of Adham Beydoun on the morning show. We apologize severely for the F-bombs that he drops and the S-bombs. And all of the other cuss words that he has said over the last 10 to 14 minutes. We sincerely apologize to you. But first, a message. Oh, God. From SMA.
First, a message from the FCC.
Yes. Thank God we're on the internet.
I don't even need an SMA. Look, man, SMA is here to destigmatize mental health as well as addiction. Sean Jordan and SMA do an amazing job for the sports marketing. And their podcast, This is the S Word, does a great job of destigmatizing mental health. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it is okay to not be okay, but you need the information, the conversations, and the platform. Go to thesportsma.com if you or anyone that you know might be struggling with depression, anxiety, and other forms of mental health.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win, or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network, the tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
All right, Dearborn and everyone else that's listening to us, who wants to win free tickets to go see Detroit and Green Bay at Ford Field? Front row tickets, as a matter of fact. All you got to do is record a video of yourself doing your best Dan Campbell impersonation. Put it on Instagram or Twitter, hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. And we're going to select 3 winners. They're going to get 2 tickets apiece to see Green Bay and Detroit at Ford Field. Got to enter today because we're picking the winner on November the 4th, man.
Braylon says, who would like to win front row tickets to see the Lions? Braylon's like, I mean,
look, I didn't say anything. No. I was off camera when I did that. I was off camera. This guy brought on camera.
Would you want to win front row?
I want to go to every game if I could.
Listen, what I will say is this. You got to give Dan Campbell credit for the attitude in which he's brought to the Detroit Lions. You got to give him credit for his team believing in him. You look at what his team did last year in December. I know they're meaningless games to a certain extent, but you don't have to play balls to the wall. They played balls to the wall all through December. They came in early to train for this season because Dan Campbell had these guys excited. So with that being said, Dan Campbell, you got to give him a little bit of validity and credit there. But now in terms of once the season started, in-game decisions, the meltdowns in the fourth quarter, pushing the blame to quarterbacks or other players and not necessarily taking it on himself, that's where I have the issue. So I appreciate the things that he has done, but I'm also seeing the things that he's doing on a consistent basis. So, I mean, there is some credit in there to be given to Dan Campbell, but now as a head coach, I'm not looking to have grit. I'm not looking for motivational speeches. I'm looking for wins in the column, and I'm looking to close out games, and that's not what Dan Campbell is doing right now.
Let's see how they finish the year.
I'm saying, is that fair, though? I gave him some credit.
That's fair. Let's see how he finishes the year.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but, our job is to talk about what we've seen thus far.
How many games are left in the season?
6, so 11.
Yeah.
No, I was counting.
Games.
I was counting 11 games.
It's 11 games. Okay, let's say if they win 6 of them and go 6-5, so you win 7 games. Are you happy?
Are
you happy?
That is
when we started. Before the season, I said 5-6. So
I still think they could win 5 or 6 more.
It's the NFL, and I agree with you, Maz. I absolutely agree with you. Any given Sunday is a real deal. It's not cliche unless you deal with the Detroit Lions. Any given Sunday brings a whole nother meaning.
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
I agree.
Starting this Sunday against the Dolphins. Tonight, the week starts tonight. Week 8, number 8 8th week starts tonight in Tampa Bay. It's the Ravens and Buccaneers, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Will Tom Brady show up and show us the real Tom Brady? And Lamar Jackson, will he get out of the doldrums a little and maybe throw for 300 yards against his defense? I don't know. What say you, Brad?
I think we have seen the real Tom Brady. I mean, you look at a lot of what's going on this season. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. You got a lot of drops. You got wide receivers coming back from injury. Mike Evans is worried about fighting Saints players and missing games. And when he comes back, he's not necessarily on his A game. He's dropping passes. Tight ends are dropping passes. Running backs are fumbling. There's a lot going on that offensive side. But they have enough talent to do the job. It's injuries this game, but I think Tom Brady still has enough to get this thing going. We call him the GOAT for a reason. He is the GOAT for a reason. They still, as ugly as they played, they're still number one in the NFC South. So looking at it that way, do they have a chance to get to playoffs? Hell yeah. Do they have a chance to win their division? Hell yeah. But what does that say about them? They'll still go to the playoffs and get smashed, but they do have a chance. Who's going to win tonight? Baltimore by 15.
Buccaneers are favored by 2, Ryan.
Brady and the Bucs are done. I never thought I'd say that. I think they're done. And we'll find out tonight. I think we're going to find out a lot about the Tampa Bay Bucs tonight.
I agree.
If I reserve the right to change my mind if they win this game, but if they lose it, I'm going to.
I like them. I like them tonight. I like them close.
Buried.
I like them to win this game.
Dead and buried. We'll find out. We'll find out.
We'll see. Hey, I picked Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, and it's not.
I picked Tampa Bay to win it.
Yeah, but
I picked Tampa Bay to win it.
They can't run the ball. We'll see how they do tonight with Gus Edwards back in there. Now, the Eagles, we talked about it earlier, acquiring Robert Quinn, 18.5 sacks last year for the Chicago Bears. Roquan Smith was on the podium yesterday, his teammate in Chicago, and he was trying to get the words out of what Robert Quinn meant to him. Check this out.
Robert, to the Eagles.
Yeah.
What do you make of Robert's time here, and what do you?
Man, yeah, man, sucks. Yeah, like, yeah. I'm gonna take a second for a second, if you don't mind. No, I have a great deal of respect for that guy. Damn. Crazy.
Braylon, did a teammate ever get traded where you felt like that about?
I'm not crying over anybody leaving. I'm different. I don't cry about lost games and things like that. I give my all. I love my teammates, but I ain't crying when a teammate leaves. Now, on the other side, is he crying because his boy left, or is he crying because he didn't get chosen?
He's like, please send me, send me.
Because that did happen when when Mangini took over in 2009
for the Browns.
For the Browns in the offseason, it was going to be my 5th year with the Browns. Kellen Winslow got traded early in the offseason. Kellen Winslow got moved to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers maybe this is like February, maybe like March. He got moved earlier, and I was pissed. Like, I don't want to be in Cleveland. And that was my guy, so I was upset. I was angry, and eventually I got traded later in that season, but I wouldn't cry, though.
No.
Check this out. Howie Roseman, the general manager of the Eagles, look what he has done for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So he traded a 4 for Robert Quinn, traded a 5 and 6 for C.J. Gardner, and a 7th. Traded a 1st and 3rd for A.J. Brown, moved from 15 to 12 to get Jordan Davis. Essentially got the Saints first in 23, a 2nd in 24, and a 1 in 2022. Got a 1 for Wentz.
This is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to be picking probably in the top 8 of the NFL draft,
right,
and they're going to win probably the NFC.
Right.
It's a remarkable job what he has
They're
done.
probably going to do what in NFC?
Probably win the
There we
NFC
go.
or come in second.
Just wanted to hear
perhaps.
that. You didn't even have to show me any of those other fleece moves that he made, or those picks, or those trades. All you had to show me was that last one. Somehow he got a 1 for Carson freaking Wentz. Yeah. The man's a genius. The man's a magician.
Can he get something for Jared Goff?
A cup of coffee.
Maybe. Right. Hey, Mac Jones, by the way, welcome back. Mac Jones is going to start against the Jets this Sunday. I don't know what Bill Belichick's doing. He's trying
to help out his former team, the Jets, right?
He's beaten them 12 straight times. The Patriots have beaten the Jets 12 straight times. What are the Jets going to have for New England on Sunday there, Bray?
Well, they know that they're a good team. They know that they're doing it well. Tazir White is playing amazing at the Mike position on defense. They're getting turnovers. They're getting stops. They're beating people up on defense. Now you look on the other side of the ball. Breece Hall was running wild. They were running the ball real well with Breece Hall. You know what? Season's not over. We're 5-2. Breece gets hurt. Let's go get James Robinson right now because I believe we have an opportunity. I think they keep this thing rolling. I think James Robinson Jr. is not necessarily as good out of the backfield as Breece Hall. James Robinson Jr. is very, very comparable to what they've already been doing.
So.
And I think the Jets, man, they continue to roll. I like the Jets.
Guys, we're going to take a break, come right back. More headlines from the NFL. Also, is there starting to be some concern with the Detroit Pistons? We'll get your take on that. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
In Hamtramck, that's right. Get on down there. Football and bowling put together in that one glorious game called Foaling. 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. Run you $120, but you get it for 2 hours, and 10 or 12 people can fit on that lane. Any drink you want, they got multiple full bars, and the mystery beer machine, the $2 mystery beer machine, over 100 beers they got to offer as well. Get your Foal on. Check them out at foalingwarehouse.com.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
October, where your fitness is essential. Yesterday, we were live on location on Ryan and in Sterling Heights, and they were amazing. The facility looked amazing. They've always been clean, but now Planet Fitness is even cleaner. Home of the No Judgment Zone, which means you can work out at your own pace, Ryan. No judgment. You go out, you want to work out, but you don't want people breathing down your neck, wanting you to do this at this rate, at this pace. No judgment. You do it at your own time. The people there are amazing. $10.
Only $10?
$10, man. 2 $5 bills is all it takes to get in shape. Get in with the plan. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. And we are here broadcasting live at Mike Phillips, Keller Williams, located in the great city of Dearborn, Michigan. That's right. We're at the corner of Michigan and Military. There's going to be a meet and greet with Braylon after our show today and a trunk or treat happening at 6 o'clock tonight here in the parking lot. You know what time it is. That's right.
Always partial to Dearborn, man. My uncle used to work the same factory that Mike's talking about with his family. My uncle worked at the factory around the corner for it. And used to bring me over here as a little kid, take me to Westbourne Market. I think it's right. Is it Westbourne?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Right across from Les Stanford Chevrolet
Exactly.
Cadillac.
Take me to Westbourne Market, man. We used to go get groceries for my aunt, and he passed away. He's no longer with us. But whenever I come over here to Dearborn, put a little smile on my face because I know he's watching.
That's right. Amen to that. Hey, Tom Mazawey, we'll continue on with the NFL.
I got some other news for you Cowboy fans out there.
Oh, there's a lot of them now.
Ezekiel Elliott, it looks like he will not play on Sunday, and it looks like he has a torn MCL. You saw it last week.
Get out of here.
You saw it last week against
Hit
the
to the
Lions.
knee.
He had his thigh. His leg went the wrong way, if you remember it. So he's got a thigh bruise and possibly a torn MCL. Looks like he will not play this week, so look out.
If you have a torn MCL, you're done for the year, right?
No, you're not.
Not
No, you're
MCL.
not.
Really?
You'll be all right. He could be a partially torn. He'll be back somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks. Obviously, that'll be right in time for the playoffs or that end of February time. So
man.
This is actually like 4 to 6 weeks. And you're talking 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how much he tore. Like if it's partially torn, depending on if it's sprained, et cetera, 4 to 6 weeks. But this is a blessing in disguise. You know, injuries are never a blessing in disguise, or they're never a blessing. But this is a blessing in disguise for the Cowboys. They've been talking about, is Tony the guy? Is Zeke the guy? Does Zeke still have it? Now they get a chance to play Tony by himself. Let him get the bulk of the load. See if he can really carry the load. And then also, it allows Dak to drop back and pass the ball some more, get into a groove, because the Dallas Cowboys are going to need Dak to be on his A game if they really want to go deep in this playoff. So look for it to be a blessing in disguise for the Cowboys.
Guys, before we get out of here, I want a thought on the Pistons. 1-4 on the year. So they win their opener, blown out the next 3. They were competitive last night and probably should have won the basketball game.
A lot of people after who we brought up yesterday.
Dwayne Casey.
Who you brought up yesterday, Ryan.
Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
A lot of Piston fans are, hey man, he should have been the coach of his last game. That's what I've been reading. They didn't like the moves he made last night. I didn't lock into the game, so I'm not going to comment on it. I'm just going to comment on what I read.
And to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't like his rotation in the opener as well, the game that they did win. I heard some questions about. I don't know. I've been questioning that thing for a while, but I too did not lock in last night, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna sit on the sidelines on that one. But just something to keep an eye on moving forward.
They get a rematch tomorrow with the Hawks, by the way.
I think
with the teal.
I think the way you're looking at it, it's good. I'll actually be at the game, so I have
Grand
my
Hill bobblehead night.
I'll have my Grand Hill till on. The way I look at it is this: you look at the Detroit franchises right now. Everything is about moving on from something that doesn't work. You look at Al Avila. They moved on for him because it did not work. You looked at 2 years ago. Quentin Trisha was terrible. They moved on. Here we are, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes thinking about moving on again. You look at the Red Wings. They moved on. They got rid of Blashill. They bring in Lalonde. So you bring everything is moving forward, getting rid of the guys that hasn't worked. Dwayne Casey has been here some time, and now people are looking for, you know what? Well, since we've got Kay Cunningham, number 1 overall last year, we got Jaden Ivey, number 5 overall this year, Jalen Duren, we got these young guys. Maybe we should get a young coach that can fit that model as well. I think, look, be patient, Pistons fans, because this team is going to be a work in process. One thing that Dwayne Casey is good at is developing young talent. The fact that he's good at developing young talent, let this man finish out this year, maybe even the year after that, because the Pistons aren't ready to win now, but he's a guy that can get these guys mentally ready to be ready, and then you bring that guy in 2024, or what you said, and I'll let you expound on, bring that guy in next year, and that guy is
Ime Udoka. I just think that's a perfect fit for this team, and again, he broke a team rule. He did not break a law or anything like that. So the Boston Celtics, maybe Ime Udoka could be our version here in Detroit. That who's the Tigers manager? AJ Hinch. AJ Hinch fired from Houston, not because of anything he did on the field, but what he did off the field.
Yeah, but that didn't work so far.
Well, either way, you know what I'm trying to say.
He said he didn't do it, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. Guys, I want to thank everybody here from Woodward Sports, everybody that put this together, everybody in the audience today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys so much. And, of course, the great Mike Phillips. We cannot thank him enough for his hospitality and the staff. Incredible stuff. Braylon, get us out of here, my friend.
When's in Boston tonight, by the way?
I would be remiss if I did not throw a special shout out to an individual and my boy over there. You know who you are, Jimmy. Jimmy V put this all together. Without Jimmy V, we wouldn't be here. Braden, I see you over there as well. Glad you put this together. Glad we had a chance to meet people here. It is official. Mike Phillips is the real deal. Mike Phillips, Keller Williams, Dearborn, It's the real deal, much like ourselves. For my man Fletch JB, who left, Uncle Maz in the chair, brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni, and my new family here in Dearborn, Keller Williams. We are Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz.
You know what time it is.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.